Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, October 1st, and I'm your host, Kristen McDonald. It is great to have you with us as we end another week here in Norwood. In 2014, the Norwood Police Department made the decision to come out of the civil service, which means they had the opportunity to administer their own entrance exam. Since then, the department has offered the exam every 2 years in the spring. Due to the pandemic, they were not able to offer it in 2020. Last Saturday at the high school, the department hosted the exam and had a great turnout. Chief Brooks has more.
We had about 125 people register for the exam. That's at no cost to the town. The people taking the exam register online with a credit card, so there's no cost to the town. Of the 125 that registered, I think we had about 110 that actually came. We had a few no-shows. Now they take an exam that's for the most part multiple choice. It takes a couple of hours, 2.5 hours or so. And then we see those results actually within a few days. And we are then able to see our applicant pool. We can see the grades that the applicants get on the exam. We also receive information like, are they from Norwood? Do they speak a foreign language? Do they have a college degree? We now require a 2-year college degree, although that's waived for military service. We ask about military service. We ask if they've attended police training before, like a police academy. Sometimes you get applicants who have already been to the academy. And of course, that's a benefit for us. So I expect to see those exam results actually within a couple of days. And we'll be able to begin screening the applicant pool that we will then be using over the course of the next couple of years. One of the highlights of the day, for me anyway, is that we get a chance to talk to the candidates when they're arriving for the exam, and we get a chance to talk to them as they leave. So Lieutenant Lydon, who's our hiring coordinator, was there. Deputy Chief Padden was there. And of course, I was there, as were a good-sized group of patrolmen that were either working the day shift that day or had worked the midnight shift, and they came up to the high school just to chat with the candidates. Candidates had questions for us about what the department was like, and of course, we wanted to talk to them to get kind of a sense for what we were seeing as an applicant pool. So we hire nothing but the best. I'm very, very pleased with the employees that we have here at the Norwood Police Department. I think our employees are our strength. And so it was nice to meet the candidates, 110 people that desperately want to be part of the Norwood PD.
Thanks, Chief. Also last Saturday, the Norwood Health Department hosted Hazardous Waste Day. This biannual event always draws a crowd, and Health Department Director Sigal Reese recaps the event.
We're here down at the Winter Street Recycling Facility hosting our Hazardous Waste Day, which we hold twice a year. It's important, the electronics, we work with electronic recyclers, so the components are taken apart and everything that can be recycled is. And then with the hazardous waste, it's really important to get that material out of your home if you're not using it, not only for the environment, but we also want to avoid any accidental exposure to you and your family. We do this twice a year. We always do it the Saturday of Mother's Day weekend, the second Saturday in May, and the last Saturday in September. And always check your recycling calendars, because it is these 2 days a year where the Winter Street facility is open for different hours. We're open 8 to 11. Everybody's usually very appreciative to be able to dispose of the material. We are always working to sort of tweak the line in our operations down here to try to get you through as quick as possible. Sometimes, the line's a little longer than other times during the 3-hour period, but we just ask that everybody be patient, and of course we're doing the best we can to get you in and out as quick as possible.
Stay tuned after this break for this month's Moral Moment and some news from the Cultural Council.
Hi, I'm Ann Haley, and I'm on the steering committee for the town's 150th anniversary celebration. Our first event in the year-long celebration is New Year's Eve. We've been planning the celebration for a while now and have some great things to do for everyone. A run for our athletes, games for all ages, and entertainment galore. At this point, we need your help. We're looking for talented members of the community to voluntarily entertain on New Year's Eve 2021. We would like a diverse group, say some ethnic dance troupes, musicians, along with some jazz or country bands. I know we have several bands in town, and wouldn't it be wonderful to hear a brass quartet in Memorial Hall? We would love to have you all perform. Magicians, dancers, singers, storytellers, comedians, we need you all. Young or old, we need you. to start our year-long celebration with a bang. If you are interested, please submit your information on our website. Go to norwoodma150.gov. Then click on Application. Once you have submitted the form, you will be contacted by a member of the committee. October 1st is the deadline for submissions. Thank you all so much. Cannot wait to see everyone at our first 150th anniversary celebration event. Norwood 150, a rich history, a bright future.
Welcome back. Every month, we highlight what's new at the library in our Moral Moment. Here's Clayton Cheever with the latest events planned for October.
Greetings from the Morrill Memorial Library, Norwood's public library for everyone. I'm Clayton Cheever, your library director. I'd like to tell you about a few things happening here at the library this October. School is back in session. We're helping expand educational opportunities for students of all ages. I had the honor last spring of watching our children's librarian, Ms. Nicole, present at a statewide library conference about a program she helped develop that's starting up again. It's for children ages 3 to 5, and it's called Alphabets. Every Wednesday morning at 10:30, preschoolers can join us for this fun alphabet-themed story time. Each week, Ms. Nicole introduces 2 letters and reads books and does activities that feature words beginning with the letters of the week. Right now, we're conducting this program on Zoom, and all participants can pick up a weekly letter craft kit here at the library. So we know how many kits to prepare. Registration is required. We're looking forward to the next program in our Fall Sustainability Series, which will happen on Wednesday evening, October 13th, starting at 7. The theme for this program is sustainable gardening, and it's being presented by Kate Donovan of Blackstone Valley Veggie Gardens. Join us to learn how to become a more efficient gardener, elongate your growing season, and maximize your output, all while preserving resources. We're happy to be co-sponsoring this program with Progress Norwood, Together Yes, and Norwood Community Media. There are a couple of different ways you can participate in this great green program. You can join us in the library or use Zoom to join online. However you want to join, please register. We greatly appreciate the generous financial support from the Friends of the Library, which are helping make this program happen. If you like to use your hands to create things like yarn crafts, baking, drawing, and other crafting activities, we've recently added an online resource I think you may really enjoy. It's called Craftsy, and you can find it on our website, norwoodlibrary.org, from the Digital Resources menu as one of our databases. With over 1,400 instructional video classes, Craftsy has something for everyone from beginners to experienced professionals. Check it out today and make your life better through creativity. I've brought some new books with me. I'm excited to tell you about them. Noted nonfiction author and mechanical engineer Suzanne Slade wrote the absolutely beautiful children's book, Mars Is. Featuring spare prose and truly incredible close-up images of Mars's unique landscape taken by NASA's HiRISE camera, I highly recommend this book. Teens and people who like reading books starring teens who are looking for a great spooky read, which can be so much fun this time of year, should tear into What Big Teeth by Rose Sabo. Eleanor barely remembers her wild, bloodthirsty family, but when she flees her boarding school after a horrifying accident, she returns to her home in Maine because it's the only place she thinks is safe. She struggles to fit in, hold her family together, and make sense of a re-emerging power in order to save them all and manage her own inner darkness. The other 2 books I brought are from our adult collection. Stephen Graham Jones wrote the novel Mongrels. This is an allegorical tale about growing up as a Native American migrant in the American South, coming to terms with cultural pride and generational trauma. It's also a modern-day take on the classic werewolf story. Deeply moving and sometimes grisly, this surprisingly funny novel follows an unnamed narrator as he comes of age under the care of his aunt and uncle, who are werewolves. In a similar vein, but from our nonfiction collection, Mythic Creatures and the Impossibly Real Animals Who Inspired Them was adapted from an exhibition at the American Museum of Natural History in New York City. This book explores an array of mythological creatures and the real animals that inspired them. Lush photos showcase rare objects from around the world, along with fossils of actual extinct animals, alongside models of mythical beasts like krakens, rocks, and my personal favorite, the chupacabra. This has been a Morrow Moment. From everyone here at the library, I wish you and yours a safe and happy October.
As a reminder, most events at the library require registration, so be sure to check out their website for full details. The Norwood Cultural Council works to elevate our rich cultural life in the community. Their main goal is to improve education, promote diversity, and encourage excellence in the arts, humanities, and sciences. Kate Sibbing-Dunn from the Norwood Community Cultural Council has more on how you can get involved with their grant program.
Hi, I'm Kate Sibbing-Dunn. I'm here to let you know that the Norwood Cultural Council is looking for folks to apply for our 2021 grant program. Maybe you're not familiar with the Norwood Cultural Council, or as we call it, NCC. So we are an appointed board of volunteers in town whose mission is to promote excellence, access, and education in the arts, humanities, and interpretive sciences in order to improve the quality of life for Norwood residents. NCC meets monthly with the purpose of supporting events and programs mainly using grants from the Massachusetts Cultural Council in town of Norwood. Through that granting process, we have been thrilled to help bring enrichment to our schools, support robust library programming, expanded offerings at the Senior Center, and amplify our rich history as a town, among other things. But we think there is more we can do, and we're looking for untapped cultural voices to be spotlighted. So what does this mean for you? It could mean that you or someone you know is an artist or specialist in the humanities, and maybe you have a talent to share via performance, workshop, or demonstration. If so, let us help you share your passion with our community. If you're not sure how to create a program, we can help. Whether it's venues, locations, partners, or even content ideas, reach out and we can help think of ways to share your cultural gifts. With guidance from community feedback, our Cultural Council is particularly interested in new programming, new artists, public art, and offerings that celebrate Norwood's rich cultural diversity. So help spread the word. Let's hear from Norwood's dancers, musicians, painters, muralists, sculptors, storytellers, culinary enthusiasts, writers, poets, photographers, designers, historians, artisans, and teachers with a passion for these things. The deadline for completed applications is October 15th, so email us at norwoodculturalcouncil@gmail.com with any interest or questions. We are here to help. For more information on our funding criteria and the grant application process, go to Mass Cultural Council /localcouncil/Norwood or simply Google Norwood Cultural Council. Again, the deadline for completed applications is October 15th. One more thing, you may have heard that Norwood is celebrating our 150th birthday next year. There will be many celebrations throughout the year, and your cultural program could be one of them. The theme of the 150th is a rich history and a bright future. What better way to commemorate those things than by sharing the many expressions of who we are? Thank you, and we look forward to celebrating all that is Norwood.
Now we're going to toss it over to Miles Kidd with the latest school news.
Hi guys, I'm Miles Kidd, and let's take a look at some activities happening in our Norwood schools this week. At the Coakley Middle School, students in Ms. Serratis' computer class are getting into the groove and exploring the fundamentals of technology and how they work around us by making music with light. You heard me correctly, light. Students are coding microbits to play certain notes based on the amount of light the microbit picks up. By waving their hands in front of the microbit, students can create their own music without touching a button. This gives new meaning to the air guitars. Rock on and stay tuned for more cool projects coming out of the computer lab. The Bald Stool is so excited to get some new picnic tables for outdoor learning and eating. In an effort to get the kids outside as much as possible and reduce the number of students in our cafeteria, the school department has provided extra outdoor tables. Teachers can bring their students out at any point in the school day, but most have utilized them during snack and lunch. Third graders eating lunch one day discovered two feathered friends dining along with them in their nest that was built in the gap between the protective grate between the glass and the brick. We will watch this happy couple throughout the years. At the Callahan School, intervention blocks were incorporated in the schedules, and it is all hands on deck as they roll out intervention for all students. Teachers have been reviewing data to determine the groupings and collaborating to provide target instruction. This is a true team effort. In grade 3, students are enjoying beach chairs as alternating seating for partner work. Who said the summer is over? The only thing missing is a sandy beach. The Prescott School hosted its second annual, and hopefully the last, virtual back-to-school night for families. Families were able to hear from their child's classroom teacher about the exciting things planned for the year, including important projects, opportunities for families, and engagement and expectations for homework and behavior. Teachers were excited to share their excitement for the school year. Families had the opportunity to not only visit their child's classroom teacher, but also special subjects like art, music, physical education, health, and library. It was a great night for everyone, and they are all very appreciative of families making the time to come out and participate in this important event. At the Willett School, the kindergarten students in A4, Mrs. Reynolds' class, have started becoming little scientists. As a whole, the group talked about how the scientific skills can allow anyone to use the skills we all have. They include wondering, observing, and taking data. The students watched a Mystery Science episode called How Do Scientists Know So Much? They then practiced and researched the visual skills by observing sunflowers outside in their class garden as well as in their classrooms using a hand lens. The students' final step was to practice taking data by drawing what they observed. Little Mustang's Preschool Academy has been learning all about apples this week. The children enjoyed reading stories about apples like Big Red Apple and Dr. Seuss's popular book, 10 Apples Up on Top. The children enjoyed making applesauce in a sensory bin filled with oatmeal and playing with both real and pretend apples. They also enjoyed painting with apples, bubble wrap, and sponges to create apple-tastic projects. They had fun playing number games using apple counters, creating an apple out of felt, as well as rolling and counting math games. After talking about different colors of apples, the students had a taste test to see which apple was their favorite. Who knew learning about apples could be so delicious? Well, that's it for school news. There's something interesting happening in our classrooms and schools every day, and thanks to all the educators who shared the news with us. Now let's go over to Mike Maloof for the latest in fall sports.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Sports Update. For most of the fall teams, this week marks the halfway point of the season. We had another full slate of games, so let's take a look at some of the scores. Football hit the road this week and traveled down to Silver Lake. It was close through most of the game, but the Lakers pulled away in the third, going up 14-7. They put another one on the board and handed the Mustangs their first loss of the season, 20-7. Boys soccer had two matches this week, dropping both. First was a 6-0 loss to Medway, and then a 4-1 loss against Dover Sherborne. The girls also traveled to DS and lost by a score of 3-1. Girls and boys cross country traveled to Medfield and lost both races. Boys lost by a score of 31-28, and the girls lost 45-15. The golf team traveled to a beautiful TPC Boston and took on a difficult Norton team. It was a close match, with Norwood eventually falling by 2 strokes, 272-274. Field hockey had 2 matchups, first against a longtime rival Walpole. The Porkers continued their state dominance by beating the Mustangs 3-0. Norwood rebounded on Wednesday against Medway in a Mustang vs. Mustang matchup. Norwood was led by 2 goals from Shay Larkey in a 4-0 win. And we'll end the week with some big news from the hard court. After some hard-fought battles, the volleyball team took on their first win of the season against Norton, 3-2. Coach Nimblett recapped the game for us in what seemed to be a nail-biter. Down 2-1, Norwood went on to win set 4 and finally set 5 in dramatic fashion, 19-17. They had great performances out of the 3 captains, combining for 21 kills, with Shannon Brady adding 6 of her own and Mary Kay Kenny with 12 digs stepped up huge in the win. Congrats girls, keep it going. Well, that's all for sports this week. To catch some of the action, follow us on social media for scores and broadcast times. Kristen, back to you.
Thanks, Mike. In government, Travis Farley appeared before the Board of Selectmen at their Tuesday night meeting. Farley reviewed his monthly report with the board and discussed Recreation Department events, including Norwood Day. The board also had a discussion on the quorum reduction for the October 18th meeting. Selectman Donahue asked if it needed to be reduced at all, sparking an in-depth discussion.
No,
No, we're doing it in person.
and it has to be all in person or outdoors, right?
They're going outdoors, right outside the gym.
Right outdoors. So why do we have to have it at all? We have a representative town meeting, everyone's elected.
So you don't want to reduce the quorum?
No.
Okay, Mr. Hajar, what do you think?
Well, I thought it was a good fail-safe because with the variant uptick, people might really get concerned that they're not going to go.
127 is We're 128. The moderator is an at-large member, and opposed counts towards the quorum also.
All right.
Well, we're not sure we're going to get that number. That's my only concern. Whether 45 is the right number, I'm just concerned that we're not going to get to that number. And since we have the ability to have a fallback position as a matter of protection so that we can run town meeting, I think we should take advantage of it and give ourselves a way to run town meeting in case we don't get enough people.
The state allows it, so I recommend we go to 45 where we've been the last 2 times and get our business taken care of and get out of there. Pleasure of the board.
Move that we adopt a number of 45 for a quorum reduction for our town meetings beginning October 18th.
Very good. Second. Motion made by Mr. Hajar, seconded by Mr. Lane. Any further discussion? Hearing none, put it to a vote. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
3-1 in favor. Thank you, Mr. Hearn.
Chairman Maloney also announced that 3 bids have been received for the sale of Forbes Hill. Bids were opened last week by the purchasing department. A bid of $22.5 million was received from the Alexandria Real Estate of Pasadena, California, which specializes in developing and operating life science and technology campuses. A bid of $20 million came from Pulte Homes of New England, based in Westboro, Mass. Pulte Homes is known for building large condo communities. They recently built Pennington Crossing in Walpole. The low bid at $16.8 million came from Charles River Realty Group, based here in Norwood. They are currently located at the Cadillac of Norwood dealership. The selectmen will meet again next week with purchasing agent Kathy Carney to review all submitted bids. During his addenda at the end of this week's selectmen's meeting, Tom Maloney recapped this week's Capital Outlay Committee meeting.
The Outlay Committee met last evening in a split meeting. The first half of the meeting was held at the Norwood High School football field and track. And it consisted of a presentation given by Mr. Riccardi on the need for and the timing of replacing the surfaces of both of those facilities, the track and the field, which is it's not just a football field, it's a multi-purpose field. Both are 11 years old, which is the age of the school, and that's about how long they're supposed to last. So in the course of the conversation about resurfacing the facilities, we talked also about the prospect of lighting the field. Ours is the only unlit field in the Tri-Valley League. And Mr. Riccardi pointed out if we're going to light the field, we should vote to do it now because we're going to have to do some trench work, as it turns out, to get underneath the field to get power lines over to the light banks that would be on the opposite side abutting the cemetery. So we talked about that and stayed up there for about 45 minutes. There were 2 or 3 members of the public, neighbors, who were there as well to talk and ask questions, and that went well. And then we repaired to the senior center, and Mr. Mizuko gave a presentation on the overall capital plan, and he gave great credit to Mr. Collins and Mr. Rosen for their work in preparing it. And so the Capital Outlay Committee will meet on Thursday, October 7, virtually, to vote on the capital plan that we're going to bring to town meeting on October 18th. So, but it went well, about 2¼ hours overall. Nice job. Mr. Ryan was there, Mr. Riccardi, as I mentioned, Mr. Folan, and Mr. Donnelly joined us as a citizen. Ms. Haley joined us as a citizen, and Claire Murphy, Mary Barry, a few others.
The next capital outlay meeting will be again on the 7th. The final meeting of the week was Thursday's Finance Commission. To start the meeting, the members received a capital outlay update, then began discussion on the tax increment finance agreement. To end the meeting, the Commission discussed the free cash update and set agenda topics for their October 7th meeting. For complete government coverage, tune into the NCM Government channel or watch on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Stay tuned after this break for some news from the Rec Department.
I'm a dad and a pastor.
I'm a mom and a principal.
And I am a daughter.
Wife and machu.
Great-grandfather.
I'm a rock climber.
A husband, a father, and a grandfather.
I'm a mother, a daughter, a wife, and a cousin.
I got vaccinated for my parents.
Because I want to be a good neighbor.
For safety and for the people I love.
For my family, for my community, and for our community at large.
કારણ કે મારી ઈચ્છા હતી કે મારા બાળક બીજા બાળક સાથે રમી શકે.
I got vaccinated so I didn't have to wear a mask.
For my family and for my community, your community.
We all come from different backgrounds
and speak different languages.
But we all agree on one thing.
Get vaccinated.
Get vaccinated.
Get vaccinated.
Getting vaccinated.
Get vaccinated.
Vaccination કરજો.
To protect yourself and others, get vaccinated. To find out more information and to find a clinic, go to mass.gov/COVID vaccine.
Welcome back. With fall in full effect, the Recreation Department has been working hard on their Fall Fest weekend, which is coming up. Katie Seestead gives us all the information.
Hi Norwood, Katie Seestead here talking about the Fall Fest weekend 2021. We're excited to bring it back this year and have a lot of events. So I'm going to start with our Thursday event, October 7th. We are doing our sock hop at Ivets Tennis Courts. This is for all of our kids that are under the age of 5 years old. We'll have a DJ, we'll have snacks, we'll have cool entertainment. Please pre-register on our MyRec website. And then we're going to roll into our Friday event, October 8th. We have our Kids Night Out. So we will be at the Civic Center, and hopefully all kids under 5th grade. It's a drop-off program. Drop off your kids, we feed them pizza, and then we're going to have a spooktacular fun time in the gym. And then we have Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday, October 9th, we have our 9th annual or 10th annual trunk or treat event at the DPW lot from 11 to 12. It's very important that you pre-register for this event. We are going back to the original way. However, there is a twist. This year we will not have trunks giving out candy due to COVID, just to be safe. In some of our trunks we want to make sure that they are safe. So you will come in right by the Dedham Savings Bank. We'll go through the line. You'll be able to get up and close and personal with the trunks. And at the end we'll have a dance party as well as the Recreation and Galulis giving out candy bags. So we're so excited for that. We didn't want to take away the event. We loved the drive-through last year, but we're missing that component of our participants being out there and buy those trunks. And then that leads us into our Saturday afternoon event, which is our kickball tournament. We partnered this year with Impact Norwood at Coakley Middle School at 3 o'clock. If you'd like to register a team, we are asking you to register through Impact Norwood. It's going to be a great time, and the winning team gets $250 worth of gift cards. So if you're that winning team that wins the kickball tournament, you will win $250 of gift cards. We'll also have refreshments. This is really a community builder. We're looking to bring the community together for the event and just to have some fun old traditional kickball. And then lastly, Sunday, October 10th, we have 2 big events. So our first one starts at 12 o'clock at the Castle Island Brewing Company. So this year we actually rented out the facility because 2 years ago we hit max capacity within 15 minutes. So pre-registration is required at the rec center. It's only $5 to get in, which will provide light refreshments. And then they're going to be showing the Patriots game on the big screen. So that is our Patriots Boo Brew, 12 o'clock at Castle Island Brewing Company. And then our last big event of Fall Fest weekend is our pumpkin float. So this easily was the most favorite event of all of Norwood and honestly all the surrounding towns that came to the event. So this year it's our pumpkin float from 6 to 9 at the Haas Adine Park. It's at the Overflow Ponds. What we're asking our friends and families of Norwood to do is contact Marie Duffy Kidd to carve a pumpkin. It's really important. It's 6 to 9 inch sugar pumpkins. We can't have these big pumpkins, else they'll sink. So make sure it's a 6 to 9 inch sugar pumpkin. You'll want to email Marie Duffy Kidd at mduffykid@gmail.com to register your pumpkin. You'll drop it off around 4 o'clock before the event, just so that way our staff has some time to put the pumpkins on the float and get ready for the night. So the event's from 6 to 9. We will float pumpkins. The Cub Scout pack will be there doing s'mores and fire pits to create the fall ambiance, as you will, as well as the playground and once again our DJ. So that is Fall Fest 2021. We can't go without this weekend without saying thank you to TD Bank. They sponsored this whole entire weekend, and every time we need something, they are there for us. So thank you so much, TD Bank. Every single event is either free or very small amount of money due to their donation. quick plug for the trunk or treat, it's $1 the day of, or a bunch of food for the Norwood Food Pantry. We want to make sure we pack those shelves getting ready for the holiday season. So recap it all, everyone. So Thursday we have the sock hop for our little ones, 5 years and younger. And then we also have Out and About in Norwood with the library. That's a great partnership. Look on our website for more information. Friday we have our Kids Night Out Halloween Spooktacular. Saturday we have Trunk or Treat going into the kickball tournament. And then Sunday we have the Patriots Boo Brew at Castle Iron Brewing Company. And then Sunday night we also have our pumpkin float. We look forward to seeing you. Once again, thank you TD Bank for your wonderful donation, and we'll see you soon.
Outdoor Art Play is an exciting art-based program for preschoolers. Every Monday in October, families can meet at the Carol Poirier Village Center to read and make crafts with Miss Kate from the library. This free program is a collaboration between the library and the Coordinated Family and Community Engagement Program funded by the EEC. Miss Kate shares additional details on the program.
So today at Art Play, we learned about clouds. We learned about the different types of clouds, and we learned how clouds can almost look like different shapes. We also did a really cool art project where we learned how to work with our fingers, get those fine motor skills going. We stretched out cotton balls and we made cloud scenes with cotton balls and blue paper. So normally my friends see me at the library, but today I am not at the library. I am at the Carol A. Poirier Village Center, which is just off Jefferson Drive here in Norwood. This is actually a home that was given by the Norwood Housing Authority to the CFCE grant, which is the Coordinated Family and Community Engagements grant, to provide really great free programming for children 8 and under. So at this house, the CFCE grant provides things like play groups. They provide programs in partnership with the library, like we're doing here today. And we make sure that kids who are 8 and under and their parents have all the resources that they need to make sure that their child gets the best start before school. CFCE tends to work on early literacy skills. They also work on parent engagement and education. And the library is super proud to partner with CFCE because we have so many of the same goals. We want all of the Norwood residents who attend library programs and CF and CE programs to really be ready for school and have strong literacy skills. So I am super happy to work with them this year on our outdoor art play program. That is going to be Mondays at the Poirier Center outside at 10:30. There is registration for it, and you can register at the library's website, which is norwoodlibrary.org. And that will be your first introduction to CFCE. So definitely make sure you register. If you need more information, you can always contact the library.
Remember to register in advance for this popular program. Outdoor Art Play continues weekly through October 25th. For kindergartners, the library has partnered with the rec department for Out and About Storytime. Each week, the group meets at another family-friendly spot in town to read and make a craft. They also enjoy snacks provided by the rec department. This week, everybody met at Hawes Playground. Let's take a look.
So the books that we read for today were A Bear is a Bear, Except When He's Not by Carl Newson. And then we also read Catch That Chicken by Atanuke. And then our last book was Hat Tricks by Satoshi Kitamura. And then the kids also get to go home with a craft today, which you got a little hint from the last book. They get to make a Sunny Bunny craft. So we do songs, we do stories, and then at the end, the rec department has provided snacks for us. So the kids get a nice little reward from being so good at story time. And then we sing a goodbye song. And then since we're near a playground, they usually run off to go burn off some of that energy.
Thanks to the library and the rec department for getting everybody out and about for this very fun program. The last Out and About Storytime is October 7th, so be sure to sign up online and save your spot. Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.